There we go. All right, so we're back, and I was just saying that they have a little setup where they give away Carl's Jr. gives away free burgers for a few hours, and usually our radio station's set up down there, um, but it's just a stop between there and Dallas on the way right off the highway. So we do stuff like that. I don't know if anything for Texas coming up. I don't know if there's anything like that for fans or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they have a big Texas X's uh deal on Friday night. There's tailgates around the stadium, outside the stadium, that are kind of put together and more official. There's a website called surlyhorns.com. They had a really kick-ass tailgate in Alabama, and we didn't even know they were going to be there. We just kind of stumbled across it.
mhm.
We ended up hanging out there all day long. They're a website that has a message board, and they're real tied in with the Texas One Fund and the Texas burn-ins, NIL stuff for the tight end. So they do a tailgate every home game as well, but they're doing like a big pool party thing Friday night. I forgot where it's at. I should have wrote this down. I should have been able to pimp it for them, but you go to surlyhorns.com. If you're a Texas fan watching this, you'll see it on their website. I believe they're going to start at 4 or 5 o'clock Friday night. Some bar that built a pool here recently around Dallas. They're going to have a big pool party thing for a few hours. So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that. I don't know about roadside stops for food or anything like that,
Right.
but definitely there will be activities for Longhorn fans in Dallas.
Yep. Yeah, there's even I know some bunch of OU people down in Dallas. They don't go to the game. They go to an indoor like game watching party, and
Oh
they'll
yeah,
be
there's
like,
all kinds of watch parties. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I've never done that. Like I said, I've always if I go down there, I'm going to the stadium. I'm either
Mm-hmm.
watching it in the stadium or right outside the stadium. So, but that's how I've done it. I've had a great time. I mean, oh, you didn't always win, but I still had a great time. So,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
blast, win or lose for sure.
About how many times you been?
I've been 5 times. This will be my 6th.
Okay, okay. Well, what you got any plans um once you get I'll tell you this, when I went with my family, Friday we left Friday morning. Like I said, we stopped down there at the at Marietta, got us a burger, then head on down to Dallas, check in the hotel. We usually used to stay at the same hotel that one of our main radio stations stayed at. Um, and then we go out to eat that night at shoot, I don't even know where we would eat at, but we go eat and then go back home, go back to the hotel, relax, because it's always an 11 o'clock game, so you can't be
Mm-hmm.
out too late or you're gonna miss the game. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what we did. And then afterwards, we'd go out. We usually stay Saturday night too. Go out to eat again, enjoy the win or not enjoy or enjoy the loss, not enjoy the loss, but but yeah, that's how we did.
Yeah, we're gonna so we've done it a few different ways in the past, and last year we stayed downtown, got on a train to get to Fair Park. The
Okay.
hotel we stayed at had a train station right next to it, so it was like literally a 1 second walk to get on the train. Rode the train over to Fair Park and then rode it back to the hotel. Uh, we really enjoyed that. Makes it a lot simpler. But
Mhm.
we're gonna head down tomorrow evening, so we're gonna leave here about 4 o'clock. We'll be in Dallas probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. There's a bar right there next to the hotel where we stay, and it's really good. So depending on how we feel, we'll probably head over there, have a few drinks, and then head back to the hotel. And then we're gonna go to the fair Friday and try to do what we would normally try to do after the game. Do that Friday with a lot less people around and a lot less beers in our system. So we'll enjoy it a lot more, I think. So we'll get all that stuff knocked out, and then Saturday morning we'll just get up, get on the train, go to Fair Park, and it'll be a business trip for us. We'll watch the game. Depending on how the game goes, who we meet up with, we might stay at the fair for a little bit, but if not, we definitely head back to the hotel and go check out that bar. It's a sports bar. It's called Frankie's
Okay.
downtown. Really cool place. It's really small upstairs, but it's got this huge downstairs area that's full of TVs. It's kind of like a speakeasy type little place downstairs. but they've got good food, good drinks, tons of TVs. It's a good place to watch games. So we did that last year after the game once we finally did leave the fair. So that's probably what we'll end up doing, and then we'll get up Sunday morning and head home.
Yep. Well, you have a safe trip over there.
Appreciate it.
So do you want to give a prediction on how you think the the game will happen?
Yeah. So I'm not ready to give a prediction, and it's not just because I don't want to. I just don't know what my prediction's going to be yet. So I've been trying to figure that out. I've been looking at it, and I kind of keep going back and forth with what I think will happen. But I will definitely have a prediction on my show Friday around noon. I'm going to do it live from the hotel room before we head over to the fair. It'll go on YouTube, so you can check us out at YouTube at Horn Takes. We do a live show Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday now, every day at noon on those days. So yeah, man, we'll do a prediction, but it's going to be on Prediction Friday. And honestly, I swear, I don't know what my prediction would be right now. So that's one of the reasons I won't give a prediction tonight.
No, that's perfectly fine, man. I don't know if I'm not ready to give my score yet, but what do you think is going to be the keys for Texas to win?
I think the keys for Texas to win, number one, they just need to keep controlling the line of scrimmage. I mean, I think what's made them so good this year is really, especially on the defensive side, they've been able to just absolutely dominate the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen the last couple of weeks the offensive line is really, actually the last 3 weeks, the offensive line has really started to gel, really started to figure out what they're doing together. And that's starting to look really good. I mean, we rushed for 336 yards against KU. KU came into that game last week giving up 93 on the ground per game. So obviously a really big performance against a statistically really stingy defense against the run. So I think that's the number one key, absolutely, for Texas is to be able to win more at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. I think something else, number two, I think I would look at preventing the deep ball by Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wants to go deep. I think Oklahoma sees that Texas has struggled a little bit with the deep ball. The last couple of weeks, they've got hit deep. Alabama hit them deep for a touchdown. So they're a little bit susceptible, I think, on the back end of the defense. When they don't get pressure, it's easy for the guy to just stand back there, find some time, and find a guy. So I think eliminating or preventing or limiting big plays through the air is definitely something that Texas needs to be looking at. And then I think thirdly, for Quinn Ewers offensively, just continue to distribute the football. He doesn't need to win it by himself. There's tons of weapons on this offense. He just needs to make the right reads, get the ball to the right guy, and let them go do all the work. So I think if Texas can do those three things, really, really good shot they walk out of the Cotton Bowl with a win on Saturday.
Yep. And in fact, really, anytime you talk about the game of football, whoever dominates the line of scrimmage usually wins the football game. Um, Now, I don't think OU has a chance of running the ball against Texas. I mean, we can't even run the ball against Iowa State or SMU or whoever we play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now some of those teams are ranked pretty high for their defense, but still, you're OU. You should be able to open up some holes and make where the running back can get through. I definitely don't think we can run the ball at the middle on Texas. I think if we have any success of running the ball, it's going to be the outside. All right. And I'm not saying we will have a success. I'm just saying if we are going to have success, it's going to be outside. You're right, though. I think OU is going to want to. They're going to test Texas with deep passes. I think if we're able to keep Dylan Gabriel healthy or not healthy, upright, then we'll have a chance. All right. If he's getting sacked or getting a lot of pressure, that's going to hurt us. And I think defensively, OU is going to have to mix up their blitzes and cause problems for Quinn Ewers. All right. their defense. I'm very, very impressed with OU's defense this year, and I'm not just saying that by the numbers. Watching them, their different schemes they run, how they mix them up, and stuff like that. I've heard some. I don't know if it's true, but the commentators were saying how the OU's defense was waiting until Texas's personnel were on the field before they even called their defense, which I know you can do, but a lot of times it's really, really quick. And so to tell me that every defensive player is getting the read and there's not really much communication going on, you're just trusting on your teammates. It says a lot to me because in years past we could not have done that at all. So I think that yeah, in order for us to win, we've got to. I'm not gonna say we got to run the ball because I don't think we can. And we'll probably be the first time if we win this game and we don't run the ball, like don't run for 100 yards, then or just over 100 yards, then probably the first time in a long time that the winner of the OU Texas game didn't dominate the game running the ball.
Yeah,
So
traditionally in this series, the team that runs the ball the best
yep,
traditionally wins. There have been one-offs where that is not the case, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a different era of football too, though.
yeah,
We're not teams don't just line up and start with the run like they used to. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't got to see Oklahoma play a whole lot this year. Unfortunately, we had a road trip to Alabama.
hmm
We've had baseball games the last 2 weekends, so I haven't had a chance to watch just a whole lot of football. I did see a little bit of the game against Iowa State. Uh, I
yeah,
was busy getting food ready and stuff, so I didn't really get a chance to sit down and pay a whole hell of a lot of attention to it. But uh, what I have seen, they're really explosive offensively, generally, and the defense does look a lot better than it was last year. So what that really means, how that's going to translate on Saturday, I don't think anybody really knows. Again, for Oklahoma, this is certainly their first big test. Uh, you know, Texas has been tested with Alabama. Oklahoma hasn't really been tested yet
hmm
from a roster perspective.
right,
It's going to be it's going to be a real good gauge for Venables to look at the moves he made with his roster over the offseason and see where that's got him compared to Texas's roster. So yeah, man, again, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. Nothing would surprise me. It wouldn't surprise. I thought I knew everything about football until the 2000 Red River Shootout when the midget ran for like 6,000 yards against Texas and the score was 63-14 or some crazy shit like that. And nobody on the planet was expecting that. And man, so you just never know what's about to happen in this game.
yeah,
Oklahoma could show up on Saturday and rush for 400 yards, and it would suck, but it wouldn't surprise me a single bit.
yeah. I definitely don't see that happening. But I will say this: I've been telling people this all week. I think, and I'm sure Texas is the same way, but I think OU's been planning for this game since the offseason. And they every week when they practice on certain plays to run against Texas. And we haven't seen those plays yet. And so they're going to come out in different formations that they've been practicing on all season. That's what I think. And it's not going to
Yeah, I
be
think there'll I
it's
think
not
there'll
going to
be some new wrinkles on both
yeah.
sides for this
Yep.
game, both offensively and defensively. Uh,
Mhm.
the preseason is for to me, and I call it the preseason. The offseason, it's not even the offseason. The non-conference schedule is really to try to figure out, who you've got, who can play, who's the
Mhm.
guys you can trust to play. What are some of the things we're good at? What are some of the things we're not good at? But you don't see a lot of teams, empty the playbook during
Right.
non-conference football. You start to see that when you start playing conference games, and so I mean, I know we're going to see it from Sarkisian. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it from Oklahoma. The defenses are going to be a little bit different in spots than what both of these teams have seen up to this point on tape. So, yeah, I mean that's the beauty of football is there's all these statistics that you can look at and say this should happen because of this or that should happen because of that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because those statistics they can't account for like all kinds of stuff that's going to happen in a football game. So
Mhm.
uh, there's definitely the human element, and it'll be fun, man. It'll be interesting to see how each team uh, feels like they can attack the other on both sides of the ball, and then ultimately who can go out and execute that better.
Yep, I agree. Now, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Texas's special teams?
Yeah. So earlier in the season, I was really, high on the special teams. I think the addition of Ryan Sanborn at punter, the transfer from USC has been great. He's been awesome. Really good at the little layup type kicks where he knocks it down inside the 20 almost every time, and a lot of times inside the 10. And then even inside the 5, he's done a couple times this year. So I really love that. I love the fact that the kickoff team is getting the ball. The Stone is getting the ball through the back of the end zone almost every kick. And then when the kicks don't make it to the back of the end zone and they do bring it out, they're not getting anything. The
Mhm.
coverage is very, very good. Very stingy coverage there. We've had a couple of punt returns that have been just one guy away from taking it to the house. We did it against Baylor. We did it against Wyoming. I said after the Baylor game, I really think Worthy's going to get one to the house at some point this year, because we're just a whisker away from being able to bust that thing. Then in the Baylor game, we saw a lot of muff, kick returns. Don't like that one single bit, obviously. And I don't like that. It looks like it's kind of affected Worthy's confidence a little bit. There was a lot of balls in that Kansas game that he just didn't even try to go catch. Uh, I prefer the guys use that fair catch, go make a catch, and save the yardage. But who knows what's going on in his head? That's his world, right? But and then the kicking, the field goal kicking has been really hit or miss. So I'm not excited about that. Uh, so yeah, man, I think special teams wise, it's not been a great year. It's just been kind of a mediocre year for Texas. I don't think any of those things are things they can't get fixed. Uh, and I think, ultimately to me in the kicking game, it's not so much about making big plays all the time as much as it is about preventing big plays. And we haven't seen any returns in the punt game. We haven't seen any returns in the kick game. So ultimately, the biggest one for me is clean up the field goals. Let's get more. Let's be better on field goals, and then I think you can look at it and just say it's what it is. It's a special teams unit that scores points when it needs to and doesn't give up big plays.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't got to see anything on them with special teams really. I will say for OU, um, I'm I'm pretty pleased with our special teams overall. We have uh, ran a punt back for a touchdown. We ran a kickoff almost all the way to a touchdown, but then got stripped and lost the ball. But ran it back like 60 yards or something, and then we blocked 2 punts, and one of those ended up being a safety. Should have been a touchdown. Guy rolled over in the end zone with it, and it fell out of his arms and went out the back of the end zone. But yeah, so stuff like that though, we haven't seen like that around OU in years. Special
Yeah.
teams used to be just like you said, fair catch the ball, maybe get 5 or 10 yards, but you weren't breaking anything. We definitely weren't blocking anything. So um, it's good to see, and I'm not sure why we're doing any. I don't. I mean, I don't know who our coach is. I don't know if it's a. I don't think it's a new coach from last year. I know we lost Shane Beamer a couple years ago, who was a special teams coach, but um, yeah. And then our field goal kicker has been okay. He's not a guy I don't think can go out there and kick 45-yard field goals, but he's only missed one. He missed one last week. First time he's missed one. So if we get in a 30-yard range or closer, 35-yard range and closer, okay, I'll be okay. But our punter is terrible. All right. I hope we don't punt the ball because I will be worried. He started off with, just punting the ball. He would, take a two-step and punt it. But they moved him to where now he moves out to the right, and it's a line drive punt now, but it actually gets the roll. and so it's actually net yards has been a lot better for him. So but yeah, we don't have a good punter like we've had for years, so I'm a little worried about that. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased with our special team so far. So, anyways, we got big Red River rivalry this Saturday at 11. You're going to be at the game, cheering on your Longhorns, eating a corn dog, and drinking some wax cup beer.
That's it.
So, so yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun, man. I really do. Hope you enjoy the game. Hope no Sooner fans give you a hard time or anything like that. And have fun at the fair. Have fun in Dallas, and hope you make there and home safely, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We always have a good time. Again, regardless, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but got to make it a good time at the fair, and we do that, and we will tomorrow, or we will Saturday.
Oh yeah. Well, Sean, we really thank you for coming on again. Really love having you on, and maybe I don't know. We'll see how the game goes, and we'll see if we want to get link up after the game and talk about it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, appreciate you coming on. Um, and we'll talk to you soon.
absolutely, man. You guys have a good one. Thanks, Nate.
Uh huh. Bye bye.